On here, I'm just going to do my weekly recap from the 24th of August to the 28th. It was a week with a lot of setups, a lot of trades, but unfortunately, I didn't take advantage of them. And I guess I'm on the dry spell of month of August. The month of August hasn't been my best month, so I have to admit. Had a bit of hesitation, and the trades that I didn't take, it was probably because either low float or either dilution was there was no dilution. Either the filings were not bad. Actually, there was a trade that I did take this week, VBIV, on Thursday. That did go south. It didn't go well, and we did have good filings. We didn't have that much. It was a good company. I think it had like an $800 million market cap. It had 200 million deficit, so it wasn't in debt. It had cash. It didn't have much dilution on, so like it was a clean company. And I was just barking up the wrong tree, I guess. But it could have went right, but I just didn't pinpoint the right entry. Anyways, and either the locates were just silly expensive. So I don't like paying full price for locates. Well, like full prices meaning like I don't know, like for 200 or 300 shares, paying 40 or 50, $60, you know. So, anyways, okay, we'll start off with SONN. It was a higher price ticker, and it just gave back all its pre-market. It did stuff into the VWAP in 3 minutes, but this is really not my setup, and I'll tell you why. What I don't like what this setup did is that as you can see, the J lines here, they creep down underneath the 200 moving average. You have the 5 here, the 1000. This is like my final TP. So I want to see this thing down here, you know, and I want to see the J lines over this 200 moving average. So it wasn't really a nice setup for me. I just stayed away from it. It did have a late day fade setup. I have written down in my notes here. It did gap up, but again, it was like at 3 o'clock. Okay, so we did have a top pudding here, sorry, and then we had a push, and you could have nibbled it here. This is our like signature move. Crack the J lines, punch into the J lines, and then down to the 5 minutes. So, but this was like not that bad, like $4 to I guess 375. So we got like 25 cents on baby size. I always use light size on these setups in the afternoon, so it wouldn't have been very advantageous for me. We had CGIX that same day. I think this was a higher price stock, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, it was a bit higher, not really my niche, but I mean, it did pull in a nice double top here with pre-market high. I love this though, like high, a higher high, and then there's like I don't know why, but these stocks they put in nice setups, you know, like high, higher high. So this is like the ultimate three-way for me. If I would have saw this, this would have been my entry here. Boom, write it down to the J lines, hold half. Look, I would have probably failed, but then it did recap and retest, you know, this pre-market high. So it did that. This was to the T. And what do you see here again? 1, 2, 3 short J lines here, and I think it did reach our the 200. No, it didn't reach the 200. So this would have been a kind of a nice fade, but like I would have probably aimed for this low. You know, I always look left. You know, if I'm not hitting my target, I would have probably like look for this low here to get out. Okay, but I would have been aiming for this red line here, the 200 on the 5 minutes. So, but it never reached. But it was a nice setup. It wasn't my niche, but this was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful setup. We had Pixie on Monday as well. These are all tickers I did not trade. Okay, I only started trading on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. I just wasn't feeling the setup. Pixie, I didn't do nothing during pre-market, just gave it all back and then started grinding up, and pulled in a top here, came down, but it did a nice late day fade setup. So it cracked, it punched over. If you would have nibbled it here, you have to been really careful. See, it went and probably got a stop out here, went to VWAP. and we always want to see that on low volume. So here, regain volume, see at 43,000 shares. So this would have been a perfect VWAP entry. But then here was the game changing here, that you would probably nibble it here and just put your stop rate over the J lines, and this would have been our final target. So that was a nice late day fade setup. Pixie also had a nice day two on it though. I had my fibs here, and it just, you know, back in hindsight, the way I do this is not too complicating. What I do is when I look for my minus 27, I'll plot it out here. So you just pull the fibs, and I go to the lowest low. You know, I go like, I won't go to this low here. I'll probably go to here because it bottomed here, and we'll go to the first push. First push here, sorry. This candle here, boom, minus 27. So this is a really nice setup. You know, push, 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 minus 20. Oh, sorry, it was a minus 68. Sorry, my bad. My bad, it was a minus 68. I thought it was a minus 27. Let's just see here if we just creep this back up to this next high here. Boom, here, okay. No, what I look for in these setups is I go to this high here and I see the minus 27. Okay, I can clearly see that it's not going. Okay, you go to the next candle, minus 27 here. Okay, it go up more, so you bring this up to the next high. I'm doing this in hindsight, so whenever I see these spikes, I always do this. I grab it, put it there. If it touches it, goes over here, goes over here. So once I see that it topped out into a minus 27, okay, I'm starting to look for a setup. What do I see? I see a nice higher, low, higher, low, lower high, sorry. It's late in the afternoon here. It's actually 7 o'clock Friday night. And I had a glass of wine. So this is a beautiful distribution pattern. You know, you see this, boom. I would have liked to see this candle sit on the support here, and this would have been like a nice entry here, and just put your stop right here. And that's this rock. And then see this here, boom, and the J lines would have been our first TP and our second TP here. So it was a nice setup. I would have liked to have gotten involved in this. Then we had MTP. I'm just going to skip over these very quickly because I want to really get into more of my trades that I did take. NTP had a really nice gap up during pre-market, lower high here, and the magical J-line stuff, boom, and then, you know, this would have been like our first TPs. Like this is like this super parachute move. You know, if you're taking this, you're not going to free fall for long, so you better open your parachute very quickly because these 200s are right here, and it just like stuff, boom, and went right there. A really nice bull flag here, another bull flag, another, and then it just grinded, and then eventually went to this last TP here. But this was a nice setup for the J-line stuff. I would have liked to see this 9 EMA a bit more down and then stuff, you know, but it is what it is. And then we had ADMA, but ADMA wasn't really my play. I didn't like the setup on it. It gave a lot back during program. Any stock that like pops, rips up, and then like gives everything back isn't like my niche. And as you can see, the J lines are underneath the 200. We're underneath the VWAP. Like the lines are all mixed. So, but the only setup we can really see here is like, okay, well, let's someone taking the J lines here. No, because yes, because the 9 EMA is under. Technically, we should have been stabbing it here. But I want to see this at the open, you know, and then it just went to the 3-minute J line stuff, boom, and give everything back. But even there, what do you look for? You know, what do you look for? Let's just say you did get in this. You got in this trade. What do you do? What do you look for? I don't have any TPs. You know, like there's nothing here. This is like a gray zone. So I can't, you know, there's no levels. If you see this levels here, okay, well then if this level was like down here, okay, well then you look left. You know, but in this case, what do you look for? Like you take the like 367 and boom, take profits right there at 331. I mean, boom, that did make sense. That was my setup. We had TTOO also. I love TTOO. I traded in the past. Really do well on this stock. And again, it just gave everything back. It just gave everything back during pre-market. There was like no clear setup on it anyways. J-line stuff, boom, and then right here. So again, look at the 200 is over. You know, like the 3 minutes are over. So the J lines here. And anyways, it's not really an A plus setup for me, so that's probably why I didn't really take a look at it. Tuesday we had SGLB, was it? I think that was a higher stock, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this was more of a stock. Again, really nice push after hours, but then, you know, as a 7, did a super double top here, boom, 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 double top, and it just gave everything back. I have troubles like something that gives like this here. I want to see a setup. Okay, yeah, we see a double top with less volume, but really not my setup, to be honest. It wasn't my my niche, as they say. We had Pixie. These are all like again, these are stickers I did not trade. I'm just going over what the setup was that I've seen it, doing like the aftermath on these. Again, Pixie, which is like nothing during pre-market. Spike, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, we did this also. Sorry, we're on Tuesday. Sorry. Come back, Sean. Come back. Yeah, HTBX. Sorry about that, guys. HTBX. Thank you. Okay, let's continue. HTBX, I did take this short. My distribution pattern, which I love. This is my setup. So I want to see a pop, put in a top, come down. I want to see a support. I want it sitting down here. Sit up, sit up, sit. You can go down, and then I noticed this trend here. I just pulled this trend, and I got in short here, and I literally put my stop here. So I got a nice 163, and I put a stop here on this high here. You have to put risk levels, so that was my risk. And then it came down, and then as soon as it cracked, I'm saying yes. As soon as it cracked this, I was looking for the J lines here, and I had an order sitting here at, I think it was like a 48 or 49, and it didn't kind of reverse on me. I'm like, oh damn, that's coming against me. So then I put in a low, higher low, and I said, okay. At this point, I was like, you're screwing around with me. So I literally put a stop break even, and I did get stopped out on this, unfortunately. And what did it do at the open? Well, I just there was no edge. So this is if I was using my fibs. Okay, I put in a high here, come to the high to swing low, boom. Okay, it did touch my golden zone. I could have nibbled it, but I think that by then and there I was looking at something else. That's why I really didn't get involved with it. I think I was looking at time. Time was ripping at this level. Went to my golden zone, boom, went to my 200, and it went to the 200 here. So it would have been a nice entry here, to be honest, 160 or 155, pop, you know, make it bigger, so golden zone. But like we're really so close to the J lines, I would have, you know, anyways. What do you want? This was a break-even trade on this. And then we had time. Time was a nice ripper here because it was a gap and extension, and we had levels to look at. We had levels even right here and there. I know it's a golden zone. I know just by the way that it popped, the range that it's giving in, and it. I don't know. I just missed it. Okay, look at that. Boom, golden zone. Jesus, Murphy. Oh. This would have been such a nice play, you know, just up another like a mini distribution. You can see it right here. I was kind of set on this. So here, boom, come on, boom. So oh, come on, put it in. So boom, 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 bam. So this would have been like my first TP and my last TP. So 160 to 139. So 20 cents, but I mean, I should be nailing this because this is my setup. And why didn't I trade it? Don't know. Sorry. Wasn't there. The mind wasn't there. We had Vive. Vive was, oh no, sorry, VIBV, I'll get back to this later. Vive also was in play that day. This was super interesting. Look at this. Minus 27, topping. I'm probably sure I put in a 3-wave here. So 1, 2, well, no, not even, just at a top and just topping. Almost the same setup today on MDGS. Almost the same setup. I'll remember this, okay? MDGS, minus 27. The way that I calculate the minus 27 is not too complicating. What I do is I take the low, okay, the pre-market low, and I go to like literally to the first high. and that minus 27 here, remove drawing. So what I do is I take a fib from high here, well, pre-market like yesterday, okay? So the buyers I got in here, boom, right to here, minus 27. It did cut over a bit over it, you know, that I would wanted to see it stuff like here, not this candle here, but stuffing down. But as soon as I'm near this section here and I'm seeing this trend, boom, you could have got in this with this 9 EMA here. You know, trend break, retest, down. This was a big miss. Why did I take it? I do not know. This week hasn't been a very good week. I've been having a severe backache with my my nerve is being pinched, so I've been sleeping a few hours per night. Work. Look at this. Reason why I got in this trade. This is a trade that I did take, and this was beautiful. Sorry about that. Reason why I got in. Okay, so I had this minus 27 here. We had this trend, and I took it short here because it was a three-way. So up, head, shoulder. I could have nibbled it. I could have had a better average right here. What I did, I remember that day, is I did put not a trend, but I did put a little box here, and said if this retests this box, I'm in. It did retest, boom, but then I should have got in like in here, okay? And if I would have did have this average, it would have changed this trade, because this was a red trade. I'll tell you why. So I got in here a bit late, and I didn't. Okay, what I should be doing is getting in short here, putting my stop here at 274. Okay, 274 should have been my hard stop. Okay, I should have been putting my stop here. So it was coming down, and this is the second day that I'm looking for the J lines to take profit. Again, it didn't. It didn't come, and I had my order sitting here, and it reversed. I'm saying, God damn it, this is the second play. I had HTPX do this on me today, and now I'm having yesterday, and I'm having this works doing the same friggin' thing. It's not going to my TPs, and I spoke to Jay, and Jay's saying, well, you know, once it makes that first higher low, you should have been trimming, you know? I'm saying, yeah, you're right. But this is hindsight. This is why I'm doing these videos, because I have to take profit. Okay, I could have trimmed out a third, not half like I usually do. Anyways, came out. I said, look, I'm going to put my stop right above VWAP. Boom, half, and I put another cut here. So I did take profits out on this level here. And in this section, the reason why I put it red, because I'm not proud of myself, I took 3 bullets in here. I really took 3 bullets. So I probably took a short here, boom. I said, okay, stopped out. Took a short here, boom, stopped out. And I remember, I think I topped it here at 163. Now, if I would have a hard stop here at 173, it would have never touched. It would have never touched my hard stop. And look where it went. J-lines went to the 200, and boom, it went to the 200 on the 5-minute chart. So this is very important, that note to myself, you took more losses trying to cash the top, get stopped out, cash the tops, get stopped. You messed up here, big time, okay? Big time. You should have, you could have put your stop here, 1 break even, okay, half, okay, or a couple cents, you would have got stopped out. Your next hard stop should have been here, 270, 271, and it never even got there. It went to 264. So I'm really not proud on this trade. Really not proud, because this had a dilution. It was a classic turd. Okay, so I'm not proud of this trade. So 2 red days in a row. Not big, just small red that I consider them scratch, but I mean it's uncalled for. Okay. Then Thursday came around and I took VBIV. Same, sorry, expression, same crap. And this company, like I said, it had good filings. And I was talking to Nico. Nico saying, Sean, why are you interested in this stock? It has nothing to do with our setups. It has no dilution. It's a real company. It's making 800 million mark sales. Okay, it's a real company. It's only losing 200 million, but it's making 800. So technically, it's making 400 million. No dilution. It has news. Anyways, I'm not going to go into it. So I noticed this three wave. So 1, 2, 3. I nailed it here. Boom. Again, I didn't. I put this little box here. I put this box. I'm saying I should have been getting in this section, but I had a really, I guess, bad average if you want. Boom. Stopped out. Reattacked. Stopped out. And I said, you know what? Screw it. I'm not going to go in through. I'm not going to go through pain again. You know what I mean? I'm not going to try to fight this anymore. And I should have looked at the bigger picture. Trend. Distribution. Crack, fail. 200 would have been my, this is my play, man. This is my play. Okay, right here. Target 1, target 2, target 3. Okay? So look at the bigger picture. But again, look what time it is. It's like approaching 11. At this time, my locates were sold. I got a credit for them. I was not pissed, but I was like, okay, it's 11 o'clock. I'm always a losing trader past 10, 30, 11. That's a rule. That's why we have rules. But this morning, ding, ding, ding. Okay, it looks kind of dribbish here. Maybe I'll throw up a 3-minute. Maybe I'll have more data. Do we have more data? Yeah, okay, we have a bit more data. So I was up early again, 4:30. Charts were on. I was talking to Nico at 6. This is a potential nice day 2 gap down. So at 7 on the dot, this thing went up, short, came down, and then it made a low because I looked left. I looked left. I always look left and see what's left. I see market structure here. So we had market structure at this level here. And it's as if this, look, it tapped it, came up, and I was like, I'm going to give it like to 454, like right over VWAP. Like VWAP was up here, so I'm going to give it like a few cents over VWAP in case it wants to retest VWAP and stuff and fail. So, and I wasn't very light. I'm not loading the boat in this level here. So it came down again to my market structure. You can see. So this market structure was very important. So tapped it again under, and then at this point here, I was actually looking for 420, I think it was. We had our moving average was like here that we're looking for. This level here at 420, and I just had it. I was in another trade at this moment, and then literally I wasn't even looking at this level here. I was trading MDGS because MDGS was just calling my name. But I just want to look at the open here. Very nice, very nice. Look at this 3-minute J-line stuff. This would have been a nice short, and this thing tanked, and it just went to the 5-minute moving average here. Would have been really, really nice. Well, I'll pull up a 1-minute chart because the 1-minute chart was where my last TP was, and it did fail underneath. So this was like literally my last target here. Would have been a nice setup. Stuff here, get in at 436, boom, take profits here at 4. Would have been a nice setup. But we had. I'm gonna come back to Thursday, okay? Because I'm not done Thursday yet. We had PED, PED. I think PED just wasn't on our radar, and I was looking for a 3-wave because this didn't do much during pre-market. It was like dead. It popped, like at the bell, it popped, and I was looking at it. I was interested. I remember I pulled in this trend here because here this was actually on the tick chart. I was looking for a retest, so I put in my bar here. So I was telling Nico, if this thing pops back up like the through 2. And this level here, I'm going to nail it. And it just failed. Under VWAP, reclaim VWAP. I'm like, oh, I don't want to play this game. But it didn't have like a nice all-day fader. Okay, and I'll let you know. Let's see why. So as you can see, it's just holding. It's just holding. Bounce, bounce, bounce. It's just holding the J-line. So if I would have got in here, I would have been trimming on the J-lines and I would have been aiming here. But so this is why it's very important, guys. We have to put time levels. So by, I wouldn't say 10 on the dot. Let's say between 10:30 and 11, we have to have, I'm going over the time. This would have been like, okay, I'm getting out. Okay, if this thing reclaims VWAP, I'm out. You have to put levels on time zones on, you know, like, oh, do I hold on to this till next week? You know, so I did ramp up before the bell offering slammed. So this was a very tricky chart, but like I said, I was only interested here. And when this slammed, I was like, okay, screw it, I'm out. I don't. I think I looked at something else. We had MOXC. I think there's a higher ticker, MOXC. Yeah, MOXC. No, it was a higher ticker. Sorry. This was a nice setup. We had a. Oh, this was nice too. So we had like almost like a three-way, but I was looking again. I think I had this already plotted out. Somewhere high, the head, and then just I was looking for another bounce into this level here to complete the three-way to get in, and then we just had the trend break and then just fail through the J lines. And then by then and there, I was looking at something else. What did it do with the open? Just I'm very curious. Okay, J line stuff. Typical J-line stuff. Boom stuff. First TP, last TP. That was a big miss. I don't know if I was looking at it or not. We also had AIM that day. I wasn't looking at it. It was just another little watch list that I seen. But right here and there, I see something really nice. Trendline break, but then a retest. So this is like fuckery if you want. Sorry, my language. So VWAP pop, you know, stuff, and it's just doing up and down, up and down. So longs are getting in, long stuff. Crack the longs, then rip it back up. So I don't like this whipsaw. This is not really like it. And also, look, it's holding the J line level. So what I do see is something that really turns me on is this here. Is the late day fade setup. So the J line crack, can't push down, touch the 200 stuff. You could have got in here, stuff. If we can't crack the J lines after 2, it wasn't even 2, it was like 11:45. Sorry, we were talking about. So this is like the typical late day fade setup, but it happened before 2. So crack, and this would have been the final TP. And I want to miss it. This is I aim for. So stuff, I would have probably even trimmed here on the 200, and I would have looked for this here. Regains, well, this is particularly out. As soon as it regains J lines, I'm out. I mean, something that regains J lines in the afternoon, look at J lines, boom. Look how it respects. Dip, almost dip, and then rip. So this is nothing that was exciting for me. This is really not my setup. Maybe if I was a long trader, maybe, but no. This morning, I explained VIBV, and we had, I call it my daily gains because it's MDG. We play this a lot. Where are you, MDG? Not going to be punched in. The best trade of the week. It's not being punched in. MDGS. MDGS, I got in with a nice fill here. My distribution pattern, which I love, so it puts in a high. And then boom, and then here, click. So I noticed this right away, and you can call it a three-way if you want, you know. So up, head, shoulder, down, but I'd rather call it distribution. I want to see it like spang. I love it when it does this here, because the more that it tests this, the more it's going to get weak, okay? That's what I love about distribution patterns, okay? So boom, and I took my first target here. I think I took it all off there. No, I took it all off here. Yeah, I took it all off here. So I trimmed here on the J lines, and I took it all off. And everyone's like saying, Sean, why? Look, we have to look for the fail. I'm saying, you know what? I'm just happy. You know, I got my pizza money here, small wallet pattern, if you want to say. And, you know, trim, and I was out. And I'm saying, okay. My wallet was already padded because I had 2 nice pre-market trades. And, you know, and I don't want to get too cocky, as they say, okay? So this thing pushes out of the gates, and right then and there, what I always do, okay, and this is something that I'm using a lot, okay, and it's, yesterday didn't work on VBIV when Jay traded it in front of the chat room, but today I just take a fib, go from pre-market close to the first nice structure, okay, and what gave me confidence on this? Okay, well, first of all, I got stopped out, and I'll tell you why I got stopped out here on this trade here, because we were looking at this, this trend crack here. Okay, on the tick chart it was really nice. On the tick chart, I think you can see it really clearly. See there, the tick chart was really nice. So bounce, bounce, bounce. I got in right here, kick, and I put my stop right here, right above. How when I got into that, so it came down. Bounced around, came up, and I took it off here when volume came in. Okay, the volume came in, and I took it off very quickly. So I had a 185 average, if I'm not mistaken. I had a 185 average, came down, and then I don't know, but I'm pretty sure like half the chat room was in it too. So, but I was kind of nervous because I was in with very small size, and this is my feeler, this is my baby size, and if this was a flush, I would have added. So, and this thing was like popping, and volume, we were in the 700,000s. Okay, so I had a funny feeling this was gonna rip. So I was ready on the hotkeys, and I had this level here. I said, if this punches over this level here, I'm out. I was risking 5 cents. So got filled here, boom. It went up, slammed, next candle opened. So I said, okay, my minus 27 is here. And it's hard to explain. This thing was like so. When this candle stuffed, I'm like, it's like it was at 195. I'm like, do I hit it with hotkeys? I just fucking hit it, and I'm going to put my stop at 2 because it was like 195. It went up, and I'm saying, okay, but I got such a shitty fill. I was like here, I was like nailing it here, and then it just like boom, and then I got a fill, cling. And then I added here, and then it got a lower fill here. So I actually probably got a bit of slippage. I got maybe a fill here at 185. So I got a fill at like 190, 189, 190. Another fill here at 185, which probably was around in the 184s. I don't care. This thing was like, tape was like on fire. It was lit. So my first TP was the J lines. Some guys were adding here. I know Nico added in this stuff here, but I didn't, the name of the game is that under 50 million shares VWAP test, you add. So if you look at volume here, we had 60,000 here. We had, shy of, we had 46,000 shares. Okay, we had 46,000 here. So this technically could have been like an ad, but I had such a good average. I feel bad adding back down here. So I just said, you know what? I got a nice average. Just play your trade out. So I took profits here on the J lines. I took more profits here on the 200, and I took more profits out on the right here. Boom, and I'm out. And I think it did go lower. Yeah, it did go lower. Like Jay called out, he called 146 in the room. But like I scaled out at 150. So we're talking 4 cents here on like. I still had the different. I had light size here. I already like trimmed out all my share size up here, so I still had only small size. So it was I won't say a bad week. I was just saying it's a scratch week. I didn't I didn't have like clear setups, and I just felt the month of August. I'm just happy that the month of August is over. So I want to say, and I think I ended it on a good note. Hopefully our turds will be firing back up for the month of September. We got 1 day left for August, and then September's rolling in. So I'm hoping that like the August slowish, sluggish month is over, and our turds are going to turn back up. So rules for what I'm going to be trying to do now is, instead of taking half profits here, like paying myself big time, I'm going to try to take a third off. If I do have confidence, probably, like I know Jay starts trimming out here on the 200. I know that for a fact, but maybe what I should do is like secure a third, another like half of that or a third, and then leave a big chunk for this, and like I had my stop here. So as soon as my targets were hitting, I'm saying screw you, my risk is coming to VWAP here, and that was if I was going to get stopped, I'm out. I was on like on puppy size here, so I really didn't care if it came back to VWAP test and come down. So next week, just be I guess I can't. I don't have any negative approaches. You know, I traded those two tickers. Yeah, I do then have an approach. Make sure that we're sticking to our rules. Like for the filings, I want to see dilution. I want to see a shit ton of depth. I want to see dilution, and then you can take your levels to trade, and that's about it. It was well, I want to say a shitty week. You know, I had two red trades, three red trades, small, yeah, two or three red trades. But today was a home run. Okay, so it erased all of the bad trades for the week. But I just have to be focusing on for next week and just hit our levels and wait for our targets to hit, and that's about it. Have a good one.